Welcome to Dark Sorcery. I'm Alfredo Martinez, and I have once again Sander Nasi. How you doing, Sander?
Hello, and thank you for having me once again. It's a pleasure to be here. Been doing great. Just been keeping busy lately. A lot of operations have been taking place, and we are also heavily engaged with people that have been coming around asking for all kinds of guidance. Even healing, which will take place later on. So we've been keeping very, very active lately. It's a very, very good time, and I can see it's going to be a lovely winter coming ahead.
Yeah, right on. It's an honor to have you on. And so let's go ahead and start out with vampirism. Now, you had mentioned about vampirism, which is Orana, which is abyssal. You would speak on that.
Well, recently I discovered there's actually two types of this. I usually thought there was only one, the typical one, which we learn, which can be made in many ways after the so-called tendrils are bestowed upon your aura, which are usually on the back side of you. We have in the group a specific sigil and a being that can bestow these. These particular ones, there's like 3 on each side, and they will come out. And these ones can be used usually to be injected into whoever you would want to, and they usually go into the chakras themselves. You can do that. You can actually do it upon the aura of the particular target. You can go into the chakras deep. Now, another part, which is way, way, way heavier, and only for advanced practitioners, would be to project and transform yourself to learn how to shift your astral double into this vampiric aspect of yours, which we all have to some extent. And it will look a little bit different, usually like a dark shadow that can be sent directly to the astral double, which has been selected, and it can bite. And what it will do is it will not just take what we call prana, the energy which is surrounding the basically the aura energy that you can suck in from that. What this will do is it will directly suck out life force from the astral double, okay, just like they do in the movie, where the vampire bites the neck and he drinks the blood. The blood is the life force. So when that happens, you will actually take golden light from the astral double, and it will be put into you, which is the vampiric aspect is just black shadow. It will not have a 3D outlook. At least that's how I've seen my transformation go. It will not be a 3D outlook of anything. It's like a black shadow. And it will be more bat-like. It will have the wings, of course, because you need wings to project. If you have no wings in your astral double, you're not able to project yet. It's not time. It will be bestowed upon you later. But this level is actually extremely heavy, and it can hurt targets to extents that go way above. There's many things that you can cause with this. Second part, which exists, which I wasn't aware of. It was revealed to me by Lilith randomly, because when you're into your path, they will take tolls on you. Turns, the spirits. One goes, one comes according to specific times and correlations or what have you. And they will teach you different things, which are meant for you to learn. We're not all meant to learn everything, but of course, there's no harm in trying. But when they come around, you will be like, okay, now it's time to learn this. So whatever you were doing, you pretty much have to stop at this stage, and you keep going with what they want you to know. Now, the second part is lost vampirism, which is extremely interesting. I didn't really know that this concept actually exists. But of course, you will be a student until the day you die. You can never be called, you be self-proclaimed an expert in anything, because we are only limited in what we know as human beings. Yes. Fun fact, after death, our soul actually will know as much as a spirit, like as if you never incarnated before. But as you live, there will be limitation to what you can learn, of course, because you can only fit this much here, whereas spirit has much more capacity due to the lack of a physical body. The lost vampirism now, how it happens. So basically, you will be approached by Lilith at that particular point of your path if it's meant for you. What she's going to do is you will be granted 2 specific familiars, which will be, of course, of the succubus race, which resides in Gamaliel. Now, these 2 will enable the transformation, but it will not be anything related to tendrils or anything like that. You will be bestowed this particular function upon the root chakra.
Okay.
So, a little bit wrong with it. I tried to do it the way I knew, which is more of the prana way, but that's not related. I thought it's the same thing, just that you're trying to suck on the lustful energies of people while they are giving you this energy, or AK as or what we call orgasm. But that's not how it works. You don't use this way. This particular way usually happens during sexual encounters. So what happens is you allow your energy centers to open up when it happens at the moment that the other person commits the orgasm, which will shoot out huge amounts of energy, of bioelectric energy into the room. They will be all over. So if your senses are open, you will be able to see it in the room. Now, while this is happening at the same time, this is when you activate your root chakra and open it up as a point, which will happen in visions as well. You will see it. It's a little bit difficult to describe exactly with words, this particular function. It's kind of like you, even though you're male, it's kind of like a womb effect where it opens up and recedes, you know, although you don't physically have one, but you know, that's what you are learning to do, because that sort of vampirism is very feminine in a way.
Yeah.
So for women, it's much easier. They just need to receive, okay? Because that's how it works naturally, you know? The male part will provide, the female counterpart shall receive. For them, it's natural, it's very easy.
Right.
For male, it's different, because you have to turn your root chakra into the opening portal and you receive. So you would have to cause the person first to get into the orgasm energy, and then you take that. Automatically, you open up your root chakra and you take it. If you can time it correctly, so both counterparts reach that climax at the same time, then you will have acquired even more of that energy. Okay. Whereas you can acquire a lot of it if it only happens from one part, but if it happens at the same time, you have acquired the maximum amount that you are able to take into you. And it's gonna be like, you get a big amount of a hit.
Right.
I mean, I don't deal with substances in any way, but it will be like literally like you have taken a specific substance that raises the nervous system.
Right.
You know, and it will add to huge amounts of magnetism, to the point where you will put yourself in a public situation after you learn how to master these energies, and it will teach you how to shapeshift as well, a lot into that energy. And you will walk into that particular place and eyes will just focus upon you. Kind of like, you know, them vampire movies where like nobody really knows that the vampire dude is what he is, and he walks into the place and everybody just stares at him and all eyes turn.
Yeah.
That will happen if you know how to shift into that energy properly. Of course, the physical aspect of it, you got to look good, you got to go into places, you know, behavior and all that. Speech kind of changes. You will be able to literally shift straight away. You'll feel everything. Your eyes change, your face change into a more heavily seductive and appealing person. More, you become way more polite. The way you talk to people just brings them in straight away. You will notice that the pupils will dilate a lot when they talk to you, when that happens. Almost as if they are intoxicated, literally. It's crazy. All you have to do is be nice, smile at them a little bit, and they all just literally, even though there's nothing like, you can do that with a straight dude. There's nothing sexual about it. He will not know why he's starting to be sort of hypnotized into this energy, you know? And you can use this to many benefits. There's a glamour that Lilith gives you, which is a heavily feminine energy, of course. To me, it's dark purple when it happens, but it can work with everyone. It can work for professional reasons. It doesn't always have to be sexual encounters. Being appealing, magnetism. This is what magnetism is. This energy of being appealing, shining. You're shape-shifting your energy, your aura grows, and you shine when you go into a place. You can shine light as well. You can do that for many, it's easier if you do that in a solar way as well, which is something that Lucifer will teach you if you are ever to reach Taumil. When you reach his part, you will learn many things. It's like a library down there. He can teach you the solar aspect of that magnetism, which is different in a way. It's more, it leans more towards angelic, but it is 10 times more seductive for males because they correspond way better to that energy, where the other part is more female energy, which of course we all have, but for males the solar aspect can be even more attractive when it comes to that. And later on, of course, you can let go of the two familiars once you have learned what you need, and you can use this and train into this new acquired power as you.
Very interesting, very different take on vampirism. I like what you'd mentioned because a lot of people don't even mention those aspects or break it down the way you did. Now let's go ahead and speak a little on judgment. Now, speaking of judgment, you had mentioned about judgment while you're alive. Go ahead and talk a little bit about that if you would.
Well, the concept of judgment, what does it tell us? That it only is something that will only take part once the person has passed. Okay, it is written in the books. It is a concept heavily followed by every culture in the planet and every religion. Now, I have received a lot of relative knowledge from both angelic and infernal beings when it comes to these very difficult questions that we may have as people. So the thing is, judgment is a thing. It does exist. If somebody tries to tell you it doesn't exist, they either are delusional, they are trying to project and cover up for their own actions, which they don't want to be accountable for, or they are just trying to lure someone into something.
Right.
So judgment is a thing. It's a very, very real thing. It's as real as the spirits, okay? If the spirit is real, if it has a job, if it's there for a particular purpose, which they all do and have, so is judgment. So, of course, we all know who responsible for judgment is. And it really, really does, like, this is where the book is relatively correct. But at the same time, as all spirits say, parts of the books are correct. Not everything.
Right.
And that first came from Saint Michael when he told me this, which I have been shocked to find many of his views, which are very similar in a way to Lucifer's. Well, they are twins, so they do kind of agree in many, many things, more than I would expect, which was shocking to discover.
Right.
You don't really need to pass at all to be to actually put yourself in a particular place in the cliff earth, which you shouldn't be, as in not for the sake of alchemical transformation or for any kind of teachings. You may be a simple profane person and you can be down there while you're alive. Literally, it can happen. Your own guardian angel can abandon you. Okay, if you have one. Some people don't have one. Some people have a guardian angel and some people have a guardian archangel, which is rare. Some people have two guardian angels, also kind of rare. But it can happen that your guardian angel will abandon you if you perceive to be a very, very evil person, or you just have no consideration of your actions or what you are doing.
Right.
And you can be put down there. Literally, you can be down there. The astral double does not need to pass to travel. Most people travel every night when they sleep. They are just not aware of it. Okay? Your soul can literally leave your body if you continuously abuse it with negative actions, with substance abuse, with drugs, alcohol, you name it. It gets abused, it flies off.
Right.
Okay? And, well, I don't want to use the word flies off because that makes you think that it actually goes somewhere up there. It doesn't. It's gonna go down there, and it's not gonna be in a place where you want to be while you're alive. Look at these people, for example, who will not stop abusing drink, which is one of the worst legal drugs allowed out there, because most of the negative acts that take place in the world, by a great percentage, happen due to heavy alcohol consumption. Okay, you can turn a nobleman into a beast with that drink. There's nothing he will not do. Okay, you can take a king and put him drunk in a beautiful event. He's gonna start grabbing people or do all kinds of things. He won't be himself.
No.
You know, he probably won't even remember what he did the next day.
Probably
which is even
not.
worse. Self-control is lost at that stage, and you are someone else completely. And they hate it. Most of these people who abuse substances hate it. And they cannot stop. And they don't know why. Because they're not themselves anymore. Because you have left from here, you're down there, and you are being literally, you have dominated yourself in that way. You can be down there. All these people, for example, if you are utterly sexual and you do not respect this energy in any way, and you go around with whatever you can find, okay, for both genders, that's not a good thing to do. Where do you think these people are that you see that cannot stop, mistreating themselves? They're all down there.
Right.
And they're not down there to learn something or to go through some kind of a sphere. They're just down there to feed the system. Just like there is a collective up there where everything is floating in the astral, like fuel in the machine to keep it going. There is another system there, which also has the exact same thing. It's a copy of the system which is above. It's literally the exact same system below. It just serves the other polarity, the negative one. So you have literally put yourself into that machine as fuel, if we want to put it that way. And it's not something that you should do, because when you see all these people who belong into that category, they are not happy. None of them are. And their lives are a complete mess, and they can literally hold on to no project whatsoever, no discipline in life. And always complaining, always blaming something else. But of course, the self-abuse and the substance abuse, or whatever it is that they subscribe to, will never go. And you really don't need to pass. You're already down there, basically, feeding the machine.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. A lot of people don't talk about that. The fact that, you don't have to wait till death to actually be a part of that energy or those spheres.
Not at all. And I've seen many people who I know personally, people who could be famous, people who, you name it. I've seen them there randomly. I was shocked, actually.
I believe it.
I couldn't believe it. But when I saw them, then I understood. I was like, And they all look way worse than they would in real life down there. They look very, very weak, very, very sick. They have very, very bad black circles. Their faces look like they've been starved. It's bad, man. It's bad, because your soul represents your situation, literally.
Right. Okay, so I understand you have been working with the lesser key of Solomon and the greater key of Solomon. So yeah, go ahead and speak on how that's been working out for you.
There is huge confusion when it comes to this particular practice, because most of the people who are involved in this, who represent the darker polarity of the operations and the systems that they follow, they try to make it sound as if it's something bad, as if it's something that will get you into trouble, as if it's something offensive, which could not be further from the truth. Because when you go through the scripts, you will see it's not all about constraint or tormentation of some particular spirit.
Right.
There are good wishes given upon the spirits. There are offerings told that which must be made. There is also a prayer which wishes the dark spirits as much as possible to actually receive God's blessing. And that is a great thing. To my experience, it really pleases a dark spirit when you give it such a good wish. Okay? to an extent that it's possible to receive it, of course, because it is a dark spirit for a reason. Now, the tormentation part, it's best to avoid. It's a very, very tricky part. It gets dangerous very, very quickly. Now, how it can work is, let's say, if you have been working with a particular spirit, and that particular spirit keeps doing nothing but taking and tricking you, and you have given everything that spirit wanted. You want light force, take it. You want channeled sigils, take it. Made public, whatever. You want rituals, channel, whatever you want, take it, no problem. All thrown out there. Spirit doesn't give you nothing. That's not good. We gotta understand, just like there is a law everywhere, there is a law there too. And this shouldn't happen, especially after you've been through some particular path workings and you have received a particular, let's call it rank. So at this stage, you are well known to the spirits, you have worked closely with them for a long time, and you are well known. So this shouldn't happen. Now, to my experience, the two higher hierarchies, after I did this particular operation, the two higher hierarchies, higher rank hierarchies, which is Lucifer and below him Belial, literally rocked up as I was walking into my home. And what happened is, randomly that day, many spirits start flying violently around. So then I knew straight away. I was like, oh, this is because of what happened yesterday.
Right.
So I went around upstairs here and I had to get ready, because you got to get ready when that happens, because you're going to be attacked and it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. Like people that are with you might be attacked too. Most likely they will. You got to stop that. You got to act straight away. Now, what happened is, these two hierarchies came in and they were like, because that particular spirit was a king that I did it to. So it's not a small thing, you know what I mean? Because not only they will fight back, bite back, more like it, they will bring their entire legions with them. So you're in some serious deep trouble when an attack happens. When it comes to particular practice, it can go out of hand easily.
Right.
But they said no. This stops here. Both of them literally rocked up and they were like, cut it out. Not to me, to the other king. So they were like, everything has been conducted in the correct way. So what was promised must be delivered, as there is a law. And then I literally sat down with the king who wanted to attack me. And I said, look, the best thing you can do at that stage is sit down, talk to that spirit. It's going to show itself. It's going to be present.
Right.
Sit down. That particular spirit has a very, very good understanding of human aspects. So you can literally talk to it, because you can literally talk to it like you would to any other person. See it as a business meeting that went wrong and be nice and polite. And just try to explain that this back and forth is not going to help anybody. What was requested was given, as the law states. So what has been promised must be given back.
Right.
Because what you're doing is you are helping this spirit to spread its energy and to become well known. So the best thing you could do is to have some consolidation with the spirit, go get into mutual terms of agreement, and then it will stop. In my case, it worked just fine. Spirit delivers. The attack stopped right there on its tracks, and the relation is easier and better after that. But if you do not know what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing this, because when it goes out of hand, it will get life-threatening, and it's no joke. These things are no joke, okay? None of this is a joke. This is very, very real. Your soul can be hurt down there during tests as well. You can wake up with being hurt as you would in real life. Like the movie says it, the Matrix makes it real, because mind makes it real. You are connected into this physical world as well. So when you get hurt down there, it happens. And it will manifest in many ways. It doesn't mean you'll physically die, of course, but you will start becoming unhealthy. You will start crumbling. Many things will happen. It manifests in extremely bad ways. So you got to be careful. Now, the rituals themselves, it is not offensive to the spirit. This is a misconception, okay? Of course, the cursing part, you shouldn't be going into for the sake of it, eeny-weeny, just to try and test it or to prove yourself that you can do it. it is not a good idea. What will happen to you is gonna be beyond repair. I'm not joking. Okay. So then you're gonna, I don't know, anything can happen. You're gonna end up getting hit by something. You lose an arm and leg or something, you know, or both of them.
Right.
You know, and then you're wondering, well, what went wrong? What went wrong? You're playing with things you shouldn't be playing. You know, you don't do that for the sake of it. Unless if you're 100% on the right. If you did everything correct and there is no wrong on your behalf. Okay. I hope I won't have to repeat this particular operation again because it's too much. And you don't know if the next particular spirit will actually even want to come to terms with you. There's no guarantee in anything when it comes to this system.
I like how you go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say I like how you mentioned that about the Goetia, or the keys of Solomon, lesser key of Solomon, greater key of Solomon. A lot of because that commentary doesn't come with the book really, and a lot of people just get themselves in trouble just by trial and error. It
is very severe. It is very, very severe. It is very heavy. It is taken extremely lightly because of its popularity. Yeah. Because everyone can get their hands on the book. Everyone. And by the way, not every book written should be followed. I personally would suggest just follow the original one that Solomon gave out. Don't follow something that has been altered. Anything that's been altered from others is altered for a reason. And that reason will serve him who altered it first in this life and the next. And the operations will not manifest in the same way. It's best to stay with the classic. Keep it classic like it is, okay? The ancient scripts are there for a reason. They're not a joke and they're not a myth like they want you to believe. Because they make it sound like a myth for a reason. Once you acquire this power, which those who tell you not to believe in have, and they rule the world with it, it's no joke, man. They rule the world without knowledge. Once you start acquiring that, you're breaking away from the system. And the system don't want you to break away. So you're going to start thinking in a different way. You will receive knowledge of the universe. You know, it's no joke. Now, these operations are extremely, extremely severe. I have used many, many methods of dark evocation and invocation. Angelic ones too. Both mine, and I have tested that of others to see what the story is. Also, my very own channeled stuff or someone else's at the same time, as much as it may correlate to me, none of these will bring that amount of energy, and they will not open the portals that the Solomonic rituals do because of the names of God that are in them, who are severe. These are so severe that you will feel the spirit coming through you so hard. Like what happened to me is not only does the voice change, my vocal cords, because of the spirit manifesting through me so hard, tensed up so much that you can't even really turn your neck. Everything just goes, you petrify because the spirit is tense. It's a dark polarity. So the spirit's power is going to be tense. That's what dark spirits are, very tense, you know? Like when you go outraged and angry, you feel very light but angry at the same time. Supernova, man. You feel like you can go through a wall. Like, that's how they are. And you feel good when it happens. That's why a lot of people get addicted to these energies, which you should. Because it's like, you know, it's like, they feel good, man. They feel good. They're all like, your body will also change. They can change your body structure if you deal with them for a while. Like it can happen while you're in the circle. Like my neck grew, my muscles swell up, literally. My vocal cords got very, very tense, and the voice would start representing that of the spirits to a point where it locks down to this part here, and you're just sitting there, and you cannot really move because it just swells up everything. And everything else will also swell up. Like your body, you can feel it literally going, and it will physically grow. Your body will grow. But it's going to be painful because like the muscles on your back and your lower back will also tense. So you're in this position where you're just stuck, but you're growing, you know? And it's sheer power, man. It's like you. And at the same time, what happens is you will be able to read. You're not going to pass out. Well, if you are strong-minded and attuned to these energies, you won't pass out. Never let yourself pass out. You never know what happens. Always maintain control. If you pass out during to projection, which you should be doing by will, not by force, then you're okay. But don't allow yourself to be losing control all the time, because control must be maintained at all times, in my opinion. Because you don't know what they'll make you do.
I agree.
These are dark polarities. Once again, you have to understand. It's like training a lion pet. You know, you keep it in the house. It's grown. It loves you, but it's in its nature to bite one day, and it will.
Exactly.
The question is, will you survive the bite when it happens? There's no avoiding the bite, by the way. So
well said.
It will grow. Everything will change. Now, if it's your attribution, what these particular spirits will do, if they correlate with you, they will follow you during your training days. That's another thing I've noticed they do a lot. They enjoy that environment for some reason. So what will happen is they will come and literally, like, the third eye will start pumping and being tense. Your face changes to an expression similar to theirs. And you start growing while you're doing what you're doing. Literally, it's like a steroid, man. It happens in seconds. Like, you just literally go, and you're like, woo. And this energy attracts people. They will all start staring at you for no reason. They don't know why. They don't know why they're looking at you. Everybody will, men, women, you name it. And like I said, not sexual. It's that magnetism thing. Fun fact: when you do this magnetic effect upon you, you don't really need to actively vampirize people at all. When you attract the attention and the looks, that's also energy sent to you willingly, which is even better, because no light spirit will stop that once it's willing. So they give it to you. Literally, yeah, that attention you get, that's also energy given to you. So you can walk into a place looking good, and everybody turns heads, and you have literally vampirized 100 people. Willingly, they gave you all that energy to you, which is what famous people do, because they are in a way worshipped.
Okay.
If you think about it.
Well, that's some great points you made. I like what you've said about vampirism, about judgment, and about the keys of Solomon. But looks like we're almost low on time. But thank you for coming on. Everybody check out Cult of Belial on Facebook, the Facebook group, and their channel with Anton and Sander. Sander, thank you very much for being on today. It's been a pleasure. And everybody watching, like and subscribe to Dark Sorcery. I'll have all of Sander and Anton's links below for Cult of Belial. Go ahead and like, subscribe to Dark Sorcery.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy your day.
You're welcome.